Hello everyone. Welcome back to another exciting session of biology. Let me ask you something. Have you ever noticed how exhausted you feel after running or playing cricket with your friends? That tiredness comes because your body has used up a lot of energy in a short time. And it's not just us humans. Every living organism, including the green plants around you in a garden or field, needs energy to live and grow. Energy powers everything, from making proteins that build our bodies, to absorbing minerals from the soil in plants, to repairing worn-out cells. Without energy, life itself would come to a halt. Just imagine a plant unable to grow new leaves or you unable to move a muscle. That's why energy is at the very core of life. But the real question is, where does this energy come from? Let's explore. Respiration is the answer. But wait, when we say respiration, we are not just talking about breathing in and out. Respiration in biology has a much deeper meaning. Definition: respiration is the process by which living cells break down glucose, that's sugar, to release energy. This is happening in every single cell, in you, in me, and even in the smallest leaf of a plant. Now, depending on the type of respiration, oxygen may be consumed and carbon dioxide may be released. But the most important part is this: the energy released is captured and stored in the form of a magical molecule called ATP, or adenosine triphosphate. So whenever you see an equation like this, glucose plus oxygen gives carbon dioxide plus water plus energy, remember, that's respiration, the universal energy pathway of life. Let's talk about glucose for a moment. Plants make glucose during photosynthesis. It's a simple sugar and it's their food. But here's the interesting part: this very glucose is also the fuel for respiration. The chemical breakdown goes like this: CHO plus 6O gives 6CO plus 6HO plus energy. Doesn't that equation look familiar? Yes, it's the mirror image of photosynthesis. This breakdown happens in several steps, each designed to squeeze out as much energy as possible. And the cool part is, the same sugar that gives you an instant burst of energy when you eat fruit is exactly the one plants use to fuel their own life processes. Isn't that amazing? Now you may be wondering, why doesn't the plant just burn up glucose all at once? Well, that would release too much heat and actually damage the cell. Instead, nature designed respiration as a stepwise process. First, glucose is split into smaller molecules in the cytoplasm through a process called glycolysis. Then, these smaller molecules move into the mitochondria, where the famous Krebs cycle takes over. Each step is controlled by specific enzymes. Think of them as tiny workers that ensure the process runs smoothly. This stepwise method allows the plant to release energy gradually and safely, like a carefully regulated power plant. Isn't it fascinating how precise and orderly life processes are? Now comes the star of the show, ATP, or adenosine triphosphate. You can think of ATP as the rechargeable battery of the cell. When glucose is broken down, the energy isn't released as random heat alone. Instead, it's stored in ATP molecules, specifically in their high-energy phosphate bonds. Whenever the cell needs energy for making proteins, dividing, or transporting substances, ATP is broken down into ADP, adenosine diphosphate, plus phosphate, and energy is released. Then, the cycle continues. ADP is recharged back into ATP when new energy comes in. It's like your phone battery being charged and discharged all day long, except here, the battery is life itself. Now here's a mind-blowing fact. One single molecule of glucose, when completely broken down in the presence of oxygen, produces a whopping 38 molecules of ATP. That's efficiency at its best. This high-yield pathway is called aerobic respiration. But if oxygen isn't available, plants can also respire without it through anaerobic respiration. The catch is, this yields much less energy. Another fascinating observation, respiration also releases heat. That's why germinating seeds in a jar actually feel warm to the touch. They are busy respiring, producing both energy and heat. Isn't it incredible how even tiny seeds can generate warmth through this hidden life process? Now, you might ask, do plants really respire just like animals? The answer is yes, and they do it continuously, day and night. Unlike photosynthesis, which only happens in light, respiration never stops. Plants use the glucose they made during the day and continue to break it down for energy, even at night. Gas exchange happens through stomata in leaves, lenticels in stems, and root hairs in underground parts. These structures act like tiny doors, allowing gases to pass in and out. And here's the bigger picture. Plant respiration not only keeps the plant alive, but also maintains the balance of gases in our ecosystem. Plants truly are the powerhouse of life cycles. Alright, let's quickly connect all the amazing things we've explored. Respiration is the process by which glucose is stepwise broken down to release energy. This energy is stored as ATP, the energy currency of life. In aerobic respiration, one molecule of glucose can yield 38 molecules of ATP. In anaerobic respiration, less energy is released, but the process still keeps life going. And remember, respiration is not just about plants or animals, it's a universal process happening in every living cell. So next time you take a deep breath, think about it, the plants around you are also quietly breathing in their own way, powering the cycle of life, just as you are. Isn't it wonderful how deeply connected we are to every green leaf, every seed, and every living cell on this planet? Biology truly is the science of life in all its incredible beauty. Until next time, keep observing, keep wondering, and keep celebrating the marvels of life.